Welcome to part 6 of Self-Inflicted Wounds, How to Heal When We Hurt Ourselves. I'm the serial intellectual. I create intellectual products that transform people and change the world. We've started to actually get into the practical steps you need to take to actually heal yourself. In part 4, we talked about how we needed to acknowledge it. Part 5, we talked about how we need to take responsibility for it. And today, we're going to talk about how we need to understand it. Now, there may be some things in here that you're going to find to be very challenging, but they're very necessary because the best prescriptions come from the most accurate diagnosis. I want to say also at the very beginning that you're probably going to need help doing this. Very few people can do what I'm about to tell you alone. So this process of healing ourselves from self-inflicted wounds, it should be done with others. Now, there's parts of it you can do by yourself, but I really want to encourage you to get someone else involved in this process. And here's why. To heal properly, you need to understand your wound thoroughly. So you need to be asking yourself questions like, what do I feel? Where do I feel it? What is the impact? Is it primarily emotional? Is it mental? Is it spiritual? Is it physical? Is it showing up predominantly relationally? These questions help you to diagnose the wound, find out where is it living, or even going to have to ask the question of, was it a pre-existing wound that simply got triggered? In other words, did I have a sprained ankle that got to about 70% and I went back out to play basketball and I twisted it again? And one of the reasons why that happened is because it was already wounded. Now I need to know, are there tears or broken bones that are fundamentally contributing to the weakness of that ankle or the weakness of that wound or the weakness of that part of me that is making me predisposed to being hurt in that area because it's never truly been healed. So the pathway forward to healing ourselves involves us knowing exactly what these wounds are. This is going to take some time because oftentimes these wounds are deep down in the crevices of our souls and our parts, and they're protected. You know, when you go to the doctor and you have something that hurts, you know what most of us do when the doctor starts to get close and they're going to push on that part? Well, you already know, we pull away. We pull away and it's natural. It's our body's way of saying, no, don't put more pain and hurt there. That's why I say this is going to be a process and it's going to take some time. And depending on your background and the trauma and the depth of this self-inflicted wound, it may take more time than you think. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and say this. Oftentimes the healing process takes more time than we think. But if you do it in the right way, you can heal a little bit faster than you thought you would. So, the whole point of this third step is I need to thoroughly understand what happened. And this is where a good friend or a therapist can come in. You can be vulnerable. They can help you diagnose exactly what's going on and exactly what you're feeling. And the benefit of having somebody close to you is they can see the effects of the wound, whether that be physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or relationally, because sometimes we can't see those things. That's why when we go to the doctor, they use tools to help us to diagnose our injuries like x-rays and CAT scans and blood tests and things of that nature. Our friends can function just like that. So once we have a really good understanding of the wound and what it's doing, then and only then can we move on to the next steps of treatment. Grace and peace.